Okay. Okay. Yes. Greetings. We need to go into the scriptures and look what the Bible is telling us about waging war. Israel is at war with their enemies, and let's look into the Bible and uh, check out if they are doing everything right. When you go out to battle against your enemies and see horses and chariots, Deuteronomy 20, and people more numerous than you, do not be afraid of them, for the Lord your God is with you, who brought you up from the land of Egypt. So it shall be when you are on the verge of battle that the priest shall approach and speak to the people, and he shall say to them, Hear, O Israel, today you are on the verge of battle with your enemies. Do not let your heart faint. Do not be afraid, and do not tremble or be terrified because of them. For the Lord your God is he who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. So they don't need to be afraid. God is on their side. They don't need to be afraid of their many enemies. They are numerous. Many, more than they are. So many Arabs, more than Israelis. So, of course, they are afraid, but they don't need to be afraid. And God says, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Because God is there to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. Then the officers shall speak to the people, saying, What man is there who has built a new house and has not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle and another man dedicate it. Isn't it wonderful? What a merciful, loving God we have. And what man is there who has planted a vineyard and has not eaten of it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle and another man eat of it. And what a man is there who is betrothed to a woman and has not married her? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle and another man marry her. That's what God cares about. That's the principles of governing warfare. This is very funny, because no government, no heathen nation would care about such things. Such unimportant things, when there is a war to wage, to win, when there are enemies at the gate. Who would speak like this? But God, he can speak like this because he is God, and that's what he cares about. That's our God. These are the things that he cares about. Someone said, the gods, wicked people said one day, they said, the gods, they care only about the great things, not about the small things. But it is not true. Our God, he cares about everything, the great things, but also about the small things. There is no small things, there is no thing too small for him to care about. He wants the man to be with his woman when they are married. He don't want a man to be killed before he goes to her woman. Wonderful. The officer shall speak further to the people and say, what man is there who is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return to his house, lest the heart of his brethren faint like his heart. Wonderful. Again, I cannot imagine how wonderful and loving our God is. If you are a coward, if you are afraid of fighting the enemy, you can go home and hide. You can go home and hide under your bed and continue to play PlayStation, Call of Duty or whatever. You don't need to go into battle if you are a coward. Cowards, no one need cowards. No one need cowards in the battlefield. Cowards can go home. It is more dangerous that the other soldiers became cowards like you. So if you are a coward, go home. Don't go into the battle. That you infect the others with your cowardness. And so it shall be, when the officers have finished speaking to the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. When you go near a city to fight against it, then proclaim an offer of peace to it. And it shall be that if they accept your offer of peace and open to you, then all the people who are found in it shall be placed under tribute to you and serve you. So that's what Israel exactly did. We saw Benjamin Netanyahu so many times at the UN talking to Iran, talking to the Arab nations, talking to the terrorists, talking to Hamas, talking to Hezbollah, and offered them peace, but they refused the peace offer. They didn't want peace. They didn't want Israel to destroy. They wanted the Jews to vanish from the river to the sea. Palestine shall be free. That was the slogan of the Palestinians. They didn't want peace with Israel. They refused the peace offer. So now Israel is besieging it. The land of Israel, the people of Israel are besieging their enemies because they don't want peace with them. There is no other option. And when the Lord your God delivers it into your hands, you shall strike every male in it with the edge of the sword. But the women, the little ones, livestock, and all that is in the city, all its spoil, you shall plunder for yourself, and you shall eat the enemy's plunder which the Lord your God gives you. Thus you shall do to all the cities which are very far from you, which are not of the cities of these nations. So actually it is not about the Hamas here and the Hezbollah, because the Hamas and the Hezbollah are in the land of Israel. They possess the land of Israel. But what the Bible says here is about cities which are far away. So actually, if Israel would be the nation which they originally had to be, then they should have they should have defeat every nation on earth. I think this was destination. The destination, the goal with Israel, that they defeat every nation, every heathen nation on earth. But today they are far away from this, and they are fighting the enemies in their homeland. But of the cities of these people, which the Lord your God gives you as an inheritance, you shall let nothing that breathes remain alive, but you shall utterly destroy them. So the enemies inside is the land of Israel must be utterly destroyed. That's what the Bible says here. The enemies inside the land of Israel, which God gave to the people of Israelites, you shall not let anything that breathes remain alive, but you shall utterly destroy them. And the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivite, the Jebusite, and David, the King David, did all of this. He defeated, the King David defeated all the enemies, just as the Lord your God has commanded you, lest they teach you to do according to all the abominations which they have done for their gods, and you sin against the Lord your God. When you besiege a city for a long time, while making war against it to take it, you shall not destroy its trees by wielding an axe against them. If you can eat of them, do not cut them down to use in the siege. For the tree of the field is man's food. Only the trees which you know are not trees for food you may destroy and cut down to build siege works against the city that makes war with you until it is subdued. So God cares so much. All these little things, the house of the man, the vineyard who is newly planted, the woman which a man who is married to, and the trees which give food. Do not cut the trees that give food, only trees which give no food. And what can we see in this? Yeah, every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into fire. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. So every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes so evil? The trees which give no fruit, the false prophets, the wicked, the liars, the deceivers, you may cut them down. They give no fruit. They are nothing. They are useless. But this, the tree which gives fruit, so it's very interesting. So God cares about God does care about the trees, about the little things. So God cares about the little things, not only about the great things. God cares about the little things, and this is our God. So different from the rulers of this world, from the kings of this world. And this is what the Bible says about waging war against enemies. So Israel needs to